Hello there, YouTube. Devin here again. Today I'm bringing you a video on probably one of my most popular helmets, but this one, now that I can edit, it's been kind of big in the waiting, and that is the American ECH helmet, which looks a lot like an ACH helmet, and that's because it's exactly styled like an ACH helmet. But this helmet has a cool couple different upgrades and perks done to it compared to the old ACH helmet. So I'm going to show you kind of some of the upgrades and the retrofits and a bunch of other cool stuff that it had, on top of having a very large increased protection level. So this is what the inside looks like. It looks just like an ACH as far as its ability to take the same pad system. It is the same sizing as an ACH. It's the same, takes the same cover as an ACH. I will say this though, if you do have an ECH, a large, so both of my ACH and my ECH are size large, so a large ACH cover will not fit on an ECH because an ECH is thicker. So the inside dimensions of each size are the same, but the outside dimensions are different because the helmet's thicker. And so you just gotta size up one if you want to fit an ACH cover onto an ECH. So like this is a large ECH, you want to buy an extra large ACH cover if you want to fit it onto your ECH. It takes all the same upgrades. It'll take the same chin straps. The only difference is you have to replace the hardware because the shell is thicker on the ECH. You need to get longer screws, but that's not too hard to get. This has the Ops Core style H-nape chin strap that they used with it. It's the Headlock TM. It says there on the buckle if I get the nape pad out of the way. Headlock TM chin strap. This is an actual US government produced ECH, if you could see there on the tag. This is one of the Ceradyne ones. They're all made by 3M. This is actually one of the ones that was made by Ceradyne before they were bought out by 3M, which makes them kind of rarer now because 3M basically bought them around the same time that they started producing this helmet. Takes the same nape pad as the standard ACH. The chin strap is now a one size chin strap. It'll fit extra small all the way up to extra large. Unlike the ACH chin straps where they came in like extra small, like medium, large, and then there was an extra large chin strap that you could fit on the ACH. The ECH chin strap is fully adjustable for every single size, so now they only need to produce one chin strap. The ECH is made out of ultra high molecular weight polyethylene fibers. So that's similar plastic to what they make milk jugs out of. But they're doing a bunch of different stuff to it, and they're weaving it in a certain way. And I'll show you the weave later because I actually have one that me and Mike B shot last summer to show you kind of some of the threats that it stopped and everything, and what it kind of looks like on the inside now that it's been shot. But this is a brand new one. I have a few of these laying around. They're very, very good helmets. They have a lot of all the good traits of the ACH, which is a very renowned serving helmet and everything like that. There's multiple different liners upgrade. It has all the same customizable features you can put onto an ACH, you can put on this. You just need to do some minor hardware upgrades and make sure you size the camouflage cover accordingly. This helmet was designed around 2011, 2012, and went into production in 2012. Fully into production in 2012 because the United States Marine Corps and the United States Army Infantry realized that soldiers needed more protection, more ballistic protection on the field than a 3A rating. This is a substantially higher than 3A rating. This helmet is actually rated, well, designed, not quite rated because I'm not quite sure 100% what it is actually rated because this still has a lot of secrecy to it. But this helmet was designed to stop 762 by 54R, 762 by 39, and 762 by 51 NATO, all at 100 yards. It's supposed to stop all three of those, and as I will show you on the shot one, it did that. This helmet is surpassed just about everything in every way. This helmet, for a large size, so I have an ACH here, This is a large size ECH. This helmet weighs 5 ounces more than a large size ECH. So you're getting a little bit more weight, but you're basically doubling the protection. This is only rated to stop 9mm FMJ. This will stop a 7.62x51 NATO full metal jacket at 100 yards. Not point blank. Point blank, it has too much deformation, but at 100 yards, this helmet will defeat a 7.62x51, whereas a 7.62x51, also in the same day, we actually shot an ACH, and the ECH, me and Mike B did, right through this helmet like it wasn't even there. So, the ACH, as you can see here, this one has some different kind of extras that you can find on the ECH as well. It has the night vision mount. This one has the X-Nape chin strap, which is much more common in the Marine Corps than it is in the Army. The X-Nape chin strap, in my opinion, is actually much more comfortable than the H-Nape. And then this one has the extra absorbent sweat front band, which is actually not a military standard thing, but I did see a lot of people that did buy this because it is much more comfortable. This type of pad is the brow pad. And then this has the Cool Tex liner in it, which you soak with water, and it kind of has these little beads in it that blow up, kind of like Orbeez, and they help keep your head cool all day and like regulate the temperature. But that is also not approved for use. But I did also see soldiers use that. This helmet is made out of Kevlar. The ACH is made out of Kevlar. It's basically just a cut down version of the American PASGAT helmet. So you can see the similarities here in profile, actually. They're almost the exact same shape, other than the ACH was just a kind of slightly cut down version to save some weight off of this and remove a lot of excess protection that this really didn't quite need as far as the battlefield was changing. It does offer less coverage though, so that was a trade-off they were willing to make. They were willing to sacrifice weight on the PASGAT for the ACH to increase, visibility and hearing and everything like that, and reduce weight. That was a viable trade-off that the Army decided was a good idea. And then for the ECH, they kind of returned some of that, not shape-wise, because they're the same exact shape, but these have now more protection added, but you're having a weight trade-off that gets heavier because of that. So, and this helmet is the ECH is currently in standard service with the Marine Corps. It is a universally regulated Marine Corps helmet. It was adopted, so everybody in the Marine Corps either has one by now or very shortly will get one. It's something that was mass issued. The Army is only currently issuing it to the infantry, and the Army doesn't actually have any plans to fully field this helmet to the entire U.S. Army. Just the infantry battalions are going to get ECHs, and only those going onto the front lines. It is a really kind of comfortable helmet. The nape pad does bite into the neck quite a lot, which is unfortunate, and another reason why I don't like H-napes. They tend to bite a lot harder when you're prone. But it is a very well balanced, stable helmet. It works quite well. It doesn't obscure too much of your hearing. You have pretty good sight lines with it. And it's not all that heavy. This is a helmet you could definitely learn to wear all day. A lot of people who have never been in the military and they try on even a relatively light steel helmet. Steel helmets are a lot lighter than composite ones. Are like, I couldn't wear that all day. Well, this is a helmet that is actually fairly easy to get used to wearing all day. And it works quite well. It's going to be eventually probably a lot more widespread in the military, kind of as they cheapen it, as their units kind of increase. They're buying a lot of them. The military is right now, well, the Marine Corps is basically. The Army kind of has the amounts that they think are good enough for this. So now we will end this video here, and I will show you some comparisons between the two, between the ACH and the ECH, kind of up closer on better angles, and then I'll show you how the one that me and Mike B shot looked, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, we're back here, and we have the ACH here on the right compared to the ECH here on the left. As you can see, they both take the same pads. They all have the same kind of Velcro disc arrangement in them. But you can see here the Kevlar in this one, which this one is a Gentex, is kind of green and yellow, and that's even present in the PASGAT. It's that yellowish green color that kind of indicates that it's Kevlar, at least US produced Kevlar, because they all kind of have that resin. Some ACHs are painted on the inside though. Gentex chose not to do that with theirs, which is good because we'll be able to see the weave. And then you kind of see this kind of silvery gray weave in this. And that's because the inside of this helmet is actually carbon fiber. Okay? And then the outside helmet shell is also carbon fiber. And then inside it's this kind of weird spindly mess of twisted layers of ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. And that is good because carbon fiber is very UV resistant. It's quite durable. It's quite scratch resistant. It's tough. It's going to help keep from damaging the layers on the inside of the helmet by just bumping it into stuff and, you know, wearing it out with use, as soldiers tend to do. So that was very smart thinking on their part. Whereas the ACH is basically its only protection is paint before you start wearing into the resin and the actual ballistic makeup of the helmet itself. So, but here we have, you can see some rim differences. These have those kind of hardened rubber type rims on the ACH, which is very common on the PASGAT as well. And you can see the seam here in the back, where this whole thing was kind of laid over the rough edge of the shell and then like heat molded into place. Where if you look at here, there is no seam on the ECH helmet. It's a totally like injection molded hard piece of plastic. It's no longer rubber. This is a hard plastic edge, and you often see these chipping and breaking, which is kind of a problem. So I don't know if that's something they're going to change here in the future, but it definitely is an issue with this. But it helps keep that from one of the problems with the ACH and the PASGAT wear is with hard use, these rubber rims will eventually come off. So this is much better at doing that. It's much better at protecting the edge of the helmet, but it being a hard plastic means it's prone to cracking with drops and bumps into stuff and everything eventually. So they have a similar paint on them. Obviously, this is back when the ACH was in use, when the Army was still really, really big on ACU, but they have kind of basically the same paint. Now this paint is on the ACH is just paint with little bits of cork in it, which allows it to reduce the shine when it gets wet. It won't be very shiny. It's meant to be worn with a cover and all that other cool stuff. The ECH, on the other hand, has very special paint on it. This paint is kind of the same thing. It's a bake-on, kind of like hardened paint. But this paint has certain chemicals in it and everything that reflect IR light in certain ways and absorb IR light in certain ways. So this paint itself is meant to be IR defeating, which means under night vision, something solid like the ACH here stands out, whereas this has got different kind of mixtures of chemicals in it, and it kind of breaks up the shape of this helmet under night vision, which is pretty cool. Now they're doing that on the ACH-2, which is like a lightweight version of the ACH, kind of like the Marines did with the lightweight helmet, which is basically a lightened version of the PASGAT. The Army is planning to issue ACH-2s to everybody who's not getting an ECH, and the Marine Corps is fully doing the ECH going forward for the entire Marine Corps. But other than that, they're very similar. As you can see, their hardware is much the same. It's just little flat screws all around, flathead screws all around the shell. The chin straps are interchangeable. Like I said, all you really need is to change the screws, but they take the same pads, same Velcro discs. They do take different night vision mounts because the hooks on these, as you can tell, are meant to be for this shape of helmet. Since the ECH is thicker, they have a specific night vision mount that will go onto the ECH because it is a thicker shell. Those little hooks will not fit over it. But if you have an ACH one, you can't find an ECH one, you just take some pliers and kind of bend it out a bit and it'll fit, which I've seen done here on ECHs before. So now we'll move on to what the shot ECH looks like, and I'll go over what some of the hits were with it and everything like that, and then we'll hopefully conclude the video. Alrighty, here we are again with me in front of the camera. I want to apologize and address something from last video. That background noise you heard is actually from my fridge. My fridge is incredibly loud, so when the condenser comes on, it is quite loud. So I will start unplugging that for video, so hopefully you won't hear any of that background noise anymore for those of you who are concerned about stuff like that. So here we have the ECH that me and Mike shot. Now this is a size extra small, which is if I pull the large up here, it's noticeably a lot kind of smaller than the large size ECH. But it has all the same stuff, same hardware, same chin strap, everything like that. There is, once again, there's the official tag in it. The rim on this one, as you can see, has blown off like entirely. And after a couple shots, it all basically blew off. But it has this weird kind of blue, kind of hardened glue that held that rim on, everything like that. Here's what the layers look like kind of in the back. As you can see, they're not all the same kind of size and shape, which is weird because that plastic rim would cover them, so they don't need to have it all be perfectly, you know, flush with each other. But there's definite layers in here, and then you can see the thin carbon fiber layer here on the inside. So this helmet took basically all the pistol hits in the front, and we didn't have high hopes for this helmet after seeing it get shot by a couple different rounds. Like this is like a 9mm right here, a 45 hit right here kind of snagged the edge. This would have been, I think this was a 9 Makarov, and as you can see, it was doing like catastrophic damage to this helmet. You can see where it's kind of blown out and everything, and how it's this really kind of thin, kind of fibrous material. That's that ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. So rather than going like the ECH did, where you have a bunch of tiny little strands of Kevlar, okay, that you then weave into like a kind of twine of Kevlar. You have it into, like, you group a bunch of tiny fibers of Kevlar together into like a string of Kevlar, and you weave that together, and then you have mats of that, and you heat press that all together with resin. This is more like felted. They take a bunch of tiny little strands of it, and rather than grouping them together to make like thread with it, they just kind of matted them all together and compacted them into resin layers, all right, into sheets, all right. So then this thing, all those fibers that are now all different directions and everything, are all felted together and resin together into thin little sheets, and then they combine a bunch of those sheets in alternating directions, and then form this whole helmet together in layers, and then sandwich it between two layers of carbon fiber to help resistance of the helmet and everything like that, which is fantastic. So now this big blowout right here that you see on the side is actually a 7.62 Tokarev. All of that copper and lead is still in here somewhere because it caught all of it, which is kind of amazing. A lot of helmets really can't do that. Now there's two large bulges here in the back. Now if this helmet would have been a lot more supported, it probably wouldn't have deformed this bad. If we would have had it on something that wasn't a fent post, much like a human skull. But these were at 100 yards, these two big bulbs in the back, and this one is the 7.62 by 51 NATO. This one is a 7.62 by 39. So as you can see here, nice neat little hole for the 7.62 39, and didn't go through. This helmet stopped it. This guy probably would have had a brain injury, but he would have lived. This is the 7.62 by 51. Now this is kind of questionable if he would have lived or not, depending on how bad the deformation would be on top of somebody's head, and of course depending on the range you get hit at. But helmets aren't actually designed to really stop bullets, again. But this is a 7.62 by 51, nice neat little hole, and it left this bulge. Defeated it. It didn't go through. Didn't even go through one side of the helmet. It stopped it. Whereas when we shot an ACH with that, it went, the helmet didn't even move. The bullet cut so clean through it. But this stopped every single round we had there that day. Even a high-powered like 7.62 by 51 NATO out of a high-powered bolt-action rifle. So it wasn't even like a short-barreled combat rifle. This was like a full-length barrel bolt-action rifle that is used for like hunting. I think this was like a SWAT sniper rifle or something like that this was used in. But it was suppressed and everything, but it had a full burn on that powder, which means this thing is moving at quite a large velocity, even compared to like a shorter military barrel for like a 20-inch of like an FAL or something like that. But this helmet stopped every single threat that was thrown at it, and I'm vastly impressed with it. It's easily the most protective helmet I've got, and you could even see where, like, you know, all the layers started to deform and all the cool inner workings of how this helmet was put together and everything. This helmet is actually for sale if somebody is interested in purchasing it. I can go through with Sharpie and mark through what all the hits were if anyone is interested in that. If you are interested in even purchasing it, but it's the only one that I know of that you can clearly see the bullet hits on it in existence, and I'm willing to sell that for a reasonable price. It is, in fact, a piece of history between me and Mike B's channel. It has both that kind of connotation with it, as we were both in the video where this was shot. I think that video is only for Mike's Patreon supporters, though, unfortunately. So if you are interested in seeing that, you'll have to go to his channel and become a Patreon member in order to see that, which costs a minimum of $5 a month. I also am a member of Patreon now, as Mike basically suggested I do eventually, because this channel, while I can support it myself, it goes out much slower. Content's going to be much slower and not as good, as it's going to take me longer to work up funds, as you can now see when I have a nicer camera. And I mean, my tripod isn't good, which is the next thing I need to replace, but I have a new camera mount and I have a nice camera and all this other stuff, and that gets help for you. It allows me to acquire more subjects for Video Matters. It allows me to do more research and everything like that, because a lot of the stuff isn't cheap, and it all goes towards helping to support the channel. And if you believe I'm worth even as little as a dollar a month, I'll put my Patreon in the description here, and if you're worth it, and if you think I'm worth it, I'd very much love a contribution. Obviously, the more helps, the more the merrier. Most of what my Patreon supporters donate $1, and most of them are only for a month, but I've got a couple cool people that stick it out for a long time, and if you're a lifetime member and everything like that, I'll send you a link to the Discord, where you get to see a lot of cool stuff, and you often get some kind of sneak peeks and a lot of first kind of peeks at what's going to happen on the channel, or what I'm going to be doing that weekend. Is a lot of cool stuff that I really don't show on camera for various reasons. But if that's something that interests you, I greatly appreciate it. It means the world to me as far as helping recoup funds and stuff like that for projects that I'm currently working on, for stuff for videos and all that other cool jazz. It means the world to me. And if you're interested, please leave a comment in the comment section to see if you're interested in this, and maybe we can work something out as far as deciding if you're interested in purchasing one of these, because it's all going to go towards funds to helping the channel. I don't know really how much it's worth, but it is the only one in existence, and it has linkage to Mike B and me as well. So thank you all for stopping by. Once again, I hope you learned something. I hope you quite enjoyed this video and all that other cool stuff. Again, I took all my neat things off my ECH here and off my ACH. Normally they're a lot more tricked out than this, for you guys to enjoy and see the similarities between the shell and all that other cool jazz, and all that other neat stuff. So before I go here, one last thing that I forgot to do. I forgot to show you the profiles of the helmet. So it looks like this from the front. It looks like this from the side. Looks like this from the rear, and it looks like this from the other side. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. You subscribe if you like this sort of thing. Please leave a like, a comment. It really helps me in the algorithms, which helps me get more ad money, which in turn helps me fund the channel. Means the world to me for those of you who do decide to become Patreon members. If you cannot support the channel through Patreon, that's okay too. Please just watch the ads, watch the videos to excuse me, watch the videos to completion, and like and share the channel. It means a lot to me. I'm a small channel. I'm trying to grow here, to hopefully start doing this with more of my time and not having to work as much, as I kind of start to make more money from this is the goal. I won't have to work anywhere near as hard at like my 2 jobs in order to eat and pay bills and afford to do this. But thank you so much for watching, you guys. It means the world to me that you're all stopping by, especially those of you who are been here since the beginning and interact with the channel a lot. It means the world to me. I love you guys and all that other stuff. If you don't know, me and Mike B live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on his channel, and then I try to sneak in some more live streams on my channel here on Tuesday, Thursday, and oftentimes I'll do one over the weekends. None of that is all set in stone, though. Of course, we try to be pretty consistent with all that stuff, and I try to do at least one stream during the week, whether it be Thursday or Saturday. That's kind of earlier and more friendly for our Asian and European audiences. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to stop by and interact with me and all the other cool stuff. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.